I want to quickly talk to you about the law of success for bankruptcy lawyers. So, if you are a bankruptcy lawyer and you really are trying to succeed in this niche, there are a few things you need to do. And I want to share with you those tactics that can help you actually thrive in a pretty competitive bankruptcy law niche. First of all, you need to craft a growth strategy for your bankruptcy law firm. The reason is that if you don't have a growth strategy, you just have no GPS. You have no GPS for your practice, and with no vision, with no GPS, with no journey, with no itinerary, you may not scale properly. Okay, so before you actually create your bankruptcy law firm's growth strategy, you must prepare for it because this will help you know what to do more of, what processes to improve, and which methods to really eliminate. So, what you want to do here is that to have clarity about certain things that you really need to go after. For example, what methods have helped you or will help you win your win business so far, or win business in the future, right? What measures do you take to keep your clients happy, or would you actually take to keep your clients happy? What can go wrong with the clients who chose to go with you in another direction? Why have some of your delays never converted after the first demo call? Okay, and who are your top 10 clients, for instance, and the revenue they bring in terms of bankruptcy? Okay, and this is important to really think about, and this can be by category, it can be by location. It really depends on how you want to slice and dice your market. So that's the first thing. The second thing, the second law of success for a bankruptcy lawyer is to set smart goals based on KPIs, not goals based on random numbers or random data. No, it has to be specific KPIs. KPI stands for key performance indicators. And when I say smart goals, SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, realistic, and time bound. So those have to be very specific. You can say, for instance, convert 10 clients within 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, for instance. The more specific you are, the better it is for you. If you want to be a successful bankruptcy lawyer, you also need to analyze your local legal industry market, especially when it comes to bankruptcies. Okay, and the reason is that you want to know whether you are in a competitive area or less competitive area. I mean, if you are, let's say, in a metro area like metro areas such as New York or LA, competition logically is much more intensive than if you were in a rural area like in Dover, Delaware, or somewhere in Pennsylvania, for instance, okay, or Iowa. So if you are expanding your services to help your bankruptcy law firm grow, consider analyzing the local market. And there are a few things you want to consider as you're actually starting this exercise. You want to determine the size of the market, understand the demand for your services as a bankruptcy lawyer. You want to identify your target audience and ideal clients. You want to study the approach your prospects take when seeking bankruptcy legal services, and you want to analyze your competitors. What are the other bankruptcy lawyers doing in that space? Are they following a specific step-by-step blueprint, or are they just having like random strategies? So you want to analyze all that, okay? So it helps you. The reason why you want to study is that the whole thing will help you market your bankruptcy legal services to your audience effectively, make wiser decisions, land more business opportunities, and position your bankruptcy law firm better. Okay. Next, you want to leverage law firm marketing. So if you want your bankruptcy law firm to be prominent, to actually gain some authority, some fame, not just fame just for fame, but fame for revenue generation, you want to think about marketing. Okay. And so basically, you can invest in SEO to build brand awareness and generate leads using tactics like social media marketing, content marketing, PPC advertising, and email marketing, for instance. Okay. So they can significantly increase or decrease your chances of landing more clients. So just remember one thing: you need to be strategic with your campaigns. You need to rely on data for your decision making and prioritize your most profitable case types. Okay. So this is something that's really good to have. So instead of casting a wider net, what you want to do is you want to be specific. Go after a specific niche within the bankruptcy law sort of space. That way, you are pretty sure that you are not only addressing the issues that people have in that space, but you are actually capturing a larger share of the market. So you also want to focus on business development. So this is the fifth law of success for bankruptcy lawyers. Okay, if you want to be a very successful bankruptcy lawyer, you got to constantly expand your business. You got to develop your business. And the thing is that business development is not something random. It is a strategic approach to it's more of a proactive strategic approach to growing your bankruptcy law firm and landing new businesses and clients. Okay, so you got to be strategic. You got to be analytical. For instance, getting prospects that actually lead to more contact with new and existing clients, eventually assisting the expansion of your bankruptcy law firm. So some of the major ways you'll need to work on are building brand reputation and raising awareness, delivering great client experiences and services, implementing effective systems and acquiring strategies for the regular growth of your bankruptcy law firm, putting constant efforts into developing new clients. You got to constantly have that, okay? Not because you're hoping that people will file for bankruptcy, but this is just because you got to really constantly bring new revenue. So, and you get this through conversions. You also want to create a system to handle incoming leads. So if you want to be a successful bankruptcy lawyer, you got to really pay attention to your incoming leads. So lead management is just as essential as lead generation. Okay. After all, it bridges the gap between bankruptcy law office marketing and sales and leads to conversions. So to successfully manage your leads, consider doing the following. So be highly responsive to your leads and answer within 10 to 15 minutes of receiving a query. Consider having a receptionist so that each call is answered on time. Okay. Use highly detailed trackable forums on your website to get detailed insights on your customer journey. Develop systems to classify highly qualified prospects for your bankruptcy law practice. And you also want to use CRM software to track your leads. Okay. So CRM, by the way, client relationship management. So it also helps to be creative with your sales and client intake processes to improve your chances of winning more business. And you want to really work on that because this is how your revenue is going to grow. You also want to automate administrative tasks and hire legal assistants. Okay, and growth may bring more revenue, but it also means more responsibility and high pressure. Hence, you will need to be well planned and highly prepared so that things don't get too much and you can keep the systems from falling apart. Okay, so this is kind of important. So when I say automate administrative tasks and hire legal assistants for your bankruptcy law firm, you have to know when to hire new staff. Always. Okay. So the non-billable hours take more of your time than billable hours. This is a scenario whereby you would need to hire more staff. If you find yourself doing paralegal or clerical work, for instance, that's not where your expertise lies, right? You can't get enough time on your schedule to draft the requested motions or documents, or you are distracted from your main work due to answering unsolicited calls from people looking for free legal advice. So you have to know when to hire new staff, and you got to really hire new staff as soon as possible. Okay. So basically, you also want to create financial benchmarks. This is the eighth law of success for bankruptcy lawyers. If you want to be a successful bankruptcy lawyer, you got to have financial benchmarks. Finance may not be your forte, but if you want to grow, you got to really quantify things. You got to quantify thresholds. You need to quantify milestones. So hiring new staff can take time and effort. It takes time and money. You can't just wake up one day, think about hiring some new employees, and by the end of the day, have some awesome new people on board, right? So, what you want to do is you want to first make a financial benchmark. So, depending on various factors, your firm's location, background, history in the community, and marketing choices, the specifics may actually vary from firm to firm, okay? But so this is something to really think about. But one thing you need to understand is that you can say, listen, I want everybody on my staff to generate 150 to 175K per year. That way, you can have financial benchmarks to actually go by or to live by, if you will. Okay, and so to create a realistic figure, divide your last year's total amount of gross revenue by the number of employees you have and set a benchmark based on your requirements. Okay, and this is sort of important. Also, by the way, one thing I wanted to say is that in terms of creating financial benchmarks, you need to outsource whenever needed. So, hiring full time employees can be costly for your bankruptcy law practice. Plus, you may need extra resources to manage them as well. So, hence, what you want to do is you want to delegate tasks whenever you need extra time on your hands. Some tasks you can consider delegating are document reviews, client interviews, information gathering, managing deadlines, drafting legal documents, or bookkeeping. You also want to collaborate with strategic partners every now and then. So if you want to scale your bankruptcy law firm without a heavy investment, consider collaborating with partners to aid your clients better. It can help you manage client relationships better, provide them with better access to some cross-functional services, and serve more than one practice area. So the key areas to collaborate with other law firms and professionals in relevant industries are pitching, marketing, and serving clients. Okay, so something that's really can really help you. Like for instance, you can focus on building strong referral relationships with medical professionals and rehab centers, or as long as the let's say the strategic partner complements your bankruptcy law firm sort of law firm strategy, go ahead and do it. Okay. You also want to get referrals from your existing clients. So if you want to be successful as a bankruptcy lawyer, you want to do as excellent. You want to provide excellent service every time you handle a bankruptcy case. Again, you're not praying that there are more bankruptcies in the country, but hey, listen, bankruptcy is part of life, okay? And this is not the end of life. People can actually come back from bankruptcy, no problem. Your job as a bankruptcy attorney is to provide the best service possible. So if you provide the best service possible, next time somebody is in a situation is in a I would say in a dire situation and they need a bankruptcy lawyer, they will refer you to they will refer their friends or family members, their colleagues to you. Okay, so this is really good. That's why you want to have satisfied clients all the time. You also want to request reviews for your legal services. So if you want to be a successful bankruptcy lawyer, you want to have reviews, and reviews are part of social proof, and you gotta have that social proof even in bankruptcy cases. Okay, and you have to understand, 85 to 90% of people actually read reviews. They trust reviews. Okay, and they trust reviews and personal recommendations. So that's an important element, and they do this across the board. It doesn't depend. It doesn't matter. The legal niche doesn't matter. People will follow what others have experienced. So you wanna build your case. You want to build a series of reviews. You want to build your social proof sort of strategy. Okay. So the best way to get positive client feedback is to provide exceptional services and ask them to leave a review for your law firm when they are the happiest. Some of the platforms on which every small law firm, including bankruptcy law firms, should have a page or a Google business profile. Bing Places, Avo, Yelp, and Facebook are also great. And you can also offer incentives in return for reviews. Additionally, ensure to respond to all client reviews across all platforms and monitor them regularly. It shows your diligence and helps you address the negative reviews quickly, as one bad review can cost you as many as 30 clients. So be very careful here. You also want to refine your case management system. So if you want to be a successful bankruptcy lawyer, think about your case management system. So with a growing business like your bankruptcy law firm, you need a better case management system to provide timely and excellent services and ensure client satisfaction, right? So to save yourself time, consider investing in legal case management software instead of working with papers. It enables you, if you think about it, to monitor and manage everything from a dashboard and improves also coordination, leading to happy clients. Okay, so that's really important. So, however, while making a purchase, opt for the LCMS that's easy to operate. LCMS, Legal Case Management System, that's easy to operate, ensures data safety, provides mobile access, and has actually good reviews. Also, if you want to be a successful bankruptcy lawyer, you want to network with fellow attorneys, not in your in the same niche as you. Like not the. I don't want you to network with other bankruptcy lawyers, but you want to network with other lawyers because reliable connections and networking with other legal professionals can bring more clients. Okay. So, however, it's more than merely attending the events and engaging in small talk. Okay. You have to show up and you have to be proactive. So let me give you an example. If you are attending a networking event for lawyers of a specific practice area, consider preparing a bit about the topics discussed there. Furthermore, always follow up on the new connections you made there too. Okay, it takes time, but it is actually pretty reliable, this type of connection. So here are some of the best ways to start meeting new attorneys. You want to attend industry conferences, organize business brunches, partner with nonprofit organizations, and also participate in webinars. Okay, so networking with lawyers can also drive growth in terms of revenue, usually by opening up new referral pipelines. Okay, this is pretty good. And the final law of success for bankruptcy lawyers actually has to revolve around your thought leadership. You want to position yourself as a thought leader. Okay, so claiming thought leadership in your legal practice should be the long-term goal of any attorney looking to build, grow, and maintain their reputation. Okay. Now it does take time. That's why a lot of bankruptcy lawyers, or even lawyers in general, don't even follow that path because it is not an easy feat, but it is definitely achievable with consistent steps like actively seeking out speaking engagements and publishing content that addresses your market's needs. So this leads to even more growth opportunities in terms of your law firm's reputation and revenue. So since the legal industry is oppressively competitive, no marketing material and channel should be really off the table to you. Okay, so this is something you need to really think about, and you gotta be consistent, but most importantly, you gotta be strategic about it. So, in conclusion to this conversation, I'll give you the law of success for bankruptcy lawyers. I'll give you the tactics, 14 tactics that really constitute the law of success, and finally, the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.